What if I told you Chevrolet went completely off the reservation? I'm talking about a truck that wasn't supposed to exist. See, word on the street is that sometime in late 2025, GM's Skunk Works division got a call from DARPA. Yeah, that DARPA, asking one simple question. Can you build a civilian vehicle that survives anything? Floods, desert crossings, supply chain collapses in remote terrain. And Chevy's answer? They didn't just build a truck, they built a statement. Now look at that front end. That's not just an aggressive face for show. Those angular lines, those deep-set LED clusters, that whole nose is shaped like it's trying to cheat physics. We're talking aerodynamics borrowed from 5th-gen fighter jets crammed into a full-size pickup. And those wheels? Absolutely unhinged. We'll get into all of it. Today, we're breaking down the interior tech, the wild exterior design, the speculative powertrain, and whether this thing is actually worth your money. Let's go.
All right, step inside and your brain short-circuits a little. That saddle tan leather, it's everywhere. Seats, dashboard, door panels, center console, and it's not cheap-looking stuff either. We're talking perforated hides with Z71 badges stitched right into the headrests. Carbon fiber trim runs across every surface it can grab. This cabin feels less like a work truck and more like a private jet that happens to have four-wheel drive. Now, here's the thing. Look at that instrument cluster. It's a massive digital span that stretches from behind the steering wheel all the way across the dash. Two screens seamlessly linked. The driver's side shows your speedo, tach, and what appears to be an off-road telemetry readout. The passenger side, full infotainment with nav, vehicle cameras, the works. And then there's a third screen down on the center console. 3 screens, people, in a truck. But let's talk about what I think is really going on under the hood of this tech. Here are 3 speculative features that would make this thing a genuine leap forward. First, neuroadaptive suspension mapping. Imagine sensors in the seat and steering wheel that read your grip pressure, your posture, even your heart rate. And the truck automatically adjusts suspension stiffness based on how stressed you are. Relaxed highway cruise, soft ride. White knuckling through a mountain pass, firms everything up instantly. No buttons, no menus, it just knows. Second, solid-state microgrid battery. Not a hybrid, not an EV. A small, ultra-dense solid-state battery pack that powers every accessory, keeps the truck's brain alive for days without the engine running, and can recharge from regenerative braking in about 90 seconds flat. You could run a full campsite off this thing for a weekend and never turn the key. Third, holographic perimeter awareness. Those surround view cameras we see on the infotainment screen, I think they're feeding a system that projects a faint holographic outline of the truck's footprint onto the ground when you're parking or navigating tight trails. Think of it as a ghost outline showing you exactly where your wheels and bumpers are. No more guessing clearances. Oh, and before I forget, if you're digging this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe. I do these deep dives every week, and your comments literally shape what I cover next. Drop your pick in the comments. All right, let's walk around this beast. And it is a beast. That front fascia tells a whole story. The grille is massive, dark, with the Chevy bow tie sitting dead center like a badge of war. But look closer. Those horizontal slats aren't just for looks. My guess? Active aero shutters. They open and close depending on whether the engine needs cooling or whether you want minimum drag at highway speed. The headlights sit deep and narrow, flanked by what look like auxiliary LED pods in the lower bumper. Those aren't fog lights. Those are trail-rated flood beams for serious off-road night work. But what's wild is the stance. This truck is lifted, not some mall crawler 2-inch spacer lift either. We're looking at what I'd estimate as a solid 4 to 6 inches of suspension travel over stock, riding on what appear to be 22-inch multi-spoke wheels wrapped in aggressive mud terrain rubber. Fender flares are boxy, almost military in shape, bolted on like armor plating. The whole profile screams, "I will drive over your car and not notice." Moving on, swing around back and you get a full-width LED taillight bar with Silverado stamped across the tailgate in dark block letters. The rear bumper is just as beefy as the front, with integrated tow hooks and dual exhaust tips poking out underneath. The overall length? I'd estimate we're pushing past 20 feet here easily. Wheelbase looks stretched too, probably around 157 inches, which means stability at speed, but a nightmare in parking garages. That's just the trade-off. And that silver paint? It's doing a lot of heavy lifting. Catches studio light like liquid metal. I'd bet money there's a ceramic nano coat on this thing from the factory. Now, nobody's confirmed powertrain specs, but let me speculate based on where GM's been heading. I think we're looking at a twin-turbo 6.2-liter V8, possibly the next evolution of the LT4 platform, making somewhere north of 600 horsepower and probably 650 pound-feet of torque. Mated to a 10-speed automatic with a dedicated crawler gear for low-range off-roading, full-time four-wheel drive, electronic locking front and rear diffs, and probably GM's next-gen magnetic ride control, dialed specifically for this monster variant. Let's be real, 600-plus horsepower in a truck this big means you're looking at maybe 14 mpg combined on a good day. That's the elephant in the room. You don't buy this truck to save money at the pump. You buy it because you want to feel like a Norse god every time you press the accelerator. 0 to 60? I'd guess around 4.5 seconds. For a truck that probably weighs north of 6,000 pounds, that's obscene. On the safety front, expect GM's full Super Cruise suite. Hands-free highway driving, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and probably a new rear cross-traffic system that works while towing. The holographic perimeter system I mentioned earlier would be a game changer for trail safety. But here's the honest downside. A truck this big, this lifted, with wheels this flashy, visibility for pedestrians and smaller vehicles is compromised. That's not a Chevy problem, that's a physics problem. And those massive tires will chew through tread fast if you're daily driving on pavement. All right, the damage. A loaded 2027 Silverado Z71 Monster with all the tech we're speculating about? I'd put the sticker somewhere between $82,000 and $95,000. Yeah, breathe. Tires alone, those mud terrains in that size, will run you $1,800 to $2,400 for a set. Insurance on a vehicle like this in most states, north of $250 a month. And fuel costs at 14 mpg? You do the math. This is a passion purchase, not a rational one. Own that. So here's where the truck community is split. A lot of gearheads are absolutely losing their minds over the interior, and rightfully so. That cabin is a genuine luxury experience. Tech stack is ridiculous. The exterior presence is unlike anything in the segment. You park this next to a Raptor or a TRX, and people are still gonna stare at this one. But others gripe that it's too much, too big, too thirsty, too expensive, and honestly, they've got a point. There's a fine line between ultimate off-road machine and lifestyle accessory that never leaves the suburbs. If Chevy actually delivers off-road capability that matches this look, it's a masterpiece. If it's all show, it's a $90,000 costume. My take? I love it. It's excessive and unapologetic, and that's exactly what American trucks should be. It all boils down to this. The 2027 Silverado Z71 Monster might be the most ambitious truck Chevrolet has ever greenlit. The tech is wild, the design is menacing, and the performance numbers, if they're real, put this in supercar territory with a bed you can throw lumber into. Now here's my question for you, and I want a real answer in the comments. Is there a point where trucks get too big and too powerful? Or should manufacturers keep pushing until the wheels fall off? Fight it out down below. And while you're there, tell me what car or truck you want me to break down next. I read every single comment. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.